Welcome to Toy Anonymous. I'm here with Jason, as usual. I'm Alex, aka Sorry Alligator. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Jason still don't have an AKA.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing swell, Alex. How are you?
Oh man, what a day. Still moving, still doing stuff. Gained a couple new pets, so have been integrating those two cats with my dog, and it's been a lot of fun. In some ways, it's
I was
been
gonna say
easier.
guinea
In
pigs.
some ways, no. She does love guinea pigs, though. I do take Momo to the pet store on our walks, and she goes right to the guinea pig tank, and they of course hide immediately. But she likes small animals, and she really wants to hang out with these cats, but they're right now just situated in one particular room. So she's just camping out in front of that door. And
They got to get acclimated first, right?
yeah, I think it's a little bit of that. But they're my lady's cats, and she loves them, and I love my dog, and we're having a good time. But outside of that, she was on the hunt today. She got off of work about 4:30, and she was headed to Target to pick something up. And I said, please check for these new Playmates Turtles 40-year anniversary. First, what is it? First sketch or first appearance Turtles. Let me know if you see anything. Of course, she didn't, because they're currently probably in the back of a truck somewhere.
Original sketch.
But you never know. Original sketch. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Those look cool. They're super simple. I bet you they're fairly inexpensive. I bet you they're around $15 each, maybe 20.
$12.
That would be pushing it. Oh, you do know the price.
According to the Toy Book website, they are saying that they are going to be $11.99 each.
What a steal! What a steal!
Price to move. I know. Price to move.
So they're going to be gone essentially. Yeah, as soon as they hit the shelf.
For sure. If they ever hit the shelves at my Target is the worst.
You got to be like me and have like 3 Targets.
Well, I do have 3 Targets, and one of them's in a mall, and that's no good for toys at all. And then the other 2 are brick and not attached to malls, and those work fairly well.
Oh, that leads me perfectly to. I did predict the shelf warmer of the Haulathon this year, and it was unexpected, I think, by most, and it was the Punk Turtles. That seems to be in every Target I go to. Are you seeing that a lot?
Nope.
Really? Okay, well,
No.
that's good. I'm glad.
No, like my Targets, nothing with NECA. It's the Shredder, weird Shredder 3-pack from the Mirage line. The red Shredder, the purple Shredder, and some other stupid Shredder.
Okay.
That's the one that's mostly there. And then the Wing Nut and Screw Loose is there.
Yeah. Oh, really? You're seeing that a lot, huh?
Yeah. And then the the police robot, whatever his name was. The evil one. Evil Rex?
Yeah. Evil Rex, you're saying.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Well, my theory, I mean, it's always fun to have a theory on why stuff's sitting. Obviously, sometimes they overproduce, and we're not necessarily privy to those numbers. But the Punk Turtles, $150. And there is nothing special about the box. Insane.
No.
Every previous 4-pack they've done in the Toon line and in the Mirage line, it's been just a beautiful box that you want to put on your shelf, that you don't want to toss.
Agreed.
It's special. There's something that separates it from the rest of the line. And I think this is the first 4-pack they did that it was just a regular, yellow and green box. It should have been $120. Lucky for you and I, we both got it for $20 off because it was during that Target sale.
Yes, and I thank you.
Don't
Because
sweat it.
I don't think I ever saw it down in my area at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Definitely seems like they just put it together. They're like, what's going to sell this toy is the fact that they're in their punk outfits. Like, I even think the Turtles in Disguise the box, where they're all in the trench coats and they have the crazy, the masks and things like that.
It's a great box. Yeah, it's a great box.
It is. It's got like I think it's got a pizza theme, shop theme on it that you can use as if you wanted to fold it and put it onto a shelf as a backdrop. But yeah, this one
similar to
threw together.
The Premonition box you have, I think, also has a door that folds down, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it creates a floor. Yeah, that's nice. Same
Yes.
with the Turtles in Disguise. Those are great
Yeah.
boxes, and even when those hit the market, they weren't 150. I think they were 120. So
Inflation.
NECA decided to give us a regular style box, nothing special, and charge us more for it.
Was there more accessories in it?
I mean, you have the grocery bags, which are cool. Those are cool pieces. And you got the separate heads, which are punk, themed.
Oh,
It's a cool set. It's a really cool set, but $150 is a lot. And I wish I had a set of the Style Guide turtles, the light green.
oh, yeah, that's the one that I got. The
The
two
ones,
packs.
the one, yeah, the ones that are more specific to like the promotional material. Those are great. I don't actually have any of those light green turtles in NECA form. I have so many, and this actually leads me to one of my pickups this week. So Toy Stalker is a really cool site to check out. Shout out to Toy Stalker. And occasionally they'll do a damaged box sale on
Okay.
specific units. And I decided to dip into the quarter
Exciting.
scale turtles.
Oh, wow.
This came today. And,
Okay.
I mean, look at this box. That's always the first
Those
thing
are
I say.
insane.
Look at this box.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
huge, man. The paint's
are
really
insane.
nice. I mean, I inspected it, and this is the only damaged part right here. That's it. It's $10 cheaper just for this little guy right here. Who cares?
Okay. Which
the
are
front,
just
it
going
looks
to
so
be
nice.
folded away and putting.
Yeah, I mean, I can't save a box like this. Although it looks so good on the shelf, it's nice and rectangular. Do not give me trapezoidal boxes. This is what I want. Yeah, so I have a plan for these quarter scale turtles, and I have like what do you call the IKEA classic shelf? You have the black versions. I have the white versions in my living
Billy
room.
bookcases.
Billy, yeah, I think I'm just gonna put him on top, just sitting up there eating the pizza, that he comes with. It just kind of sitting over it like he's a Sesame Street puppet sitting over the
like
top of
it.
the shelf. Yeah.
I like it.
As soon as you dip into a particular line, would you call this a line, the quarter scale? It's still part of the tune, the NECA tune, or is it a wave? I guess it's a line because it's quarter scale. It's completely different, separate.
But yeah,
Now
I
I'm
think you're
thinking
right. I
about
think
that.
it's a line.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about that Android body. Like, how cool would he look up there?
That would be cool.
And yeah, I mean, would you ever? I mean, where would you put it? Right? I mean, he's
That
going
would
to be
almost
bigger
be
than
the
that.
that would almost be the size of what the Hasbro Pulse exclusive, the
Oh yeah,
Sentinel
Sentinel,
or
yeah.
Galactus. That would be the size of that, right? Like we're
So
talking.
it's a showpiece to any room that it's in,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
And
That would be cool.
Android body would be a pretty dang good showpiece, I think. So the turtles are 15 inches. I think that's correct. The Android body's got to be 20 at
Have to be.
least. Oh yeah. So the chase I found at Target the other day, I'll just get this out of the way, was this Detective Comics number 27 chase. He's got the
Okay.
cell shading, and I was just lucky enough to see this at the Target, or one of the closest ones to me.
Is that the one with the weird colored gloves? Sorry.
It's got the blue ones instead of the purple ones. I have the regular
Okay.
version as well.
Okay, that is the Batman with the weird gloves. I was wondering what was going on with that.
It's, obviously the cell shading is inspired by this illustration here. You see the blue on top of his head. I'm not sure it works so well in practice,
plastic?
but I do like the way the boots look, and the underoos. I guess the underoos doesn't have any cell shading, but he has the wired cape with the blue on the inside, and the non platinum does not have that, which is a cool, unique thing. I can always switch out the heads if I really wanted to.
I'm
Speaking
enjoying the
of,
wired cape.
everyone's doing it now, including McFarlane at the $22 price point. It's nice to have.
Yep. It works for posing and things.
But
Lighting.
everything's on sale at Target right now. This is $16.
Oh, not bad. Oh, shoot.
$16. Everything's on
Dang
sale
it.
at Target right now.
I'm going to go. Shoot. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to cut
Yeah,
this
you gotta
short.
go,
I got to go to
Yeah,
Target.
yeah. To be continued.
I got my my Robin to go with
Oh,
my.
sweet.
It's the gold label Dick Grayson Robin.
So does he come with any accessories, or is it just the hands?
Yeah, the bat rope. He's got a batarang with the rope
Oh,
on
okay.
there.
There's some glare there.
Yeah.
I see it now.
Sorry. Let me turn
And he's a
this
gold label, so he's gold label specific to Amazon or McFarlane store?
on. No idea. I bought it on eBay. So
Oh, cool. Awesome.
yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Another one that I just bought is the Marvel Legends Doctor Strange, not the movie
Wow, that's an
version.
old figure. That's
Yeah,
an old figure, yeah. And why did I get She-Hulk? I guess I don't have a She-Hulk, so, and this is a really good one.
that's not bad. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that
this is the most
She-Hulk.
recent wave. Yeah. Oh, this guy's cool. Whiplash.
Yeah,
I like his man purse, and his accessories are amazing. I love the ponytail.
I
The
do enjoy that
accessories.
because Marvel and DC have so many characters that you can pretty much. They're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like the turtle line is limited. You only have four turtles: Casey, April, Splinter. There's only so many characters that you can choose from. But with the Marvel or DC line, they're like, hey, let's put out a Mixel Pixlic or Pixlic
Right. I like that you
and
said
have
that because
have it be gold label. Oh, please tell me you have a Mixlic Pixlic or whatever his name is,
no, no. I really
because I think there
I
is
was
one.
really I was really interested in the most recent loyal subjects announcement about the fifth turtle. Did you see that?
Is it Venus
The
de
fifth
Milo?
turtle was announced.
Oh,
No,
no, one of the
her
a
name
new
is
brother.
Jenica.
Okay.
Jenica. She's actually a lady, and she's got a yellow headband. And Loyal Subjects is continuing to do the obscure characters from the IDW line. I think NECA's going to eventually do it, uh, but I'm not 100% sure. So I am trying to pick those up. Like you saw me pick up the
Oh,
Rat King,
was this
but
announcement with some zombie turtles?
it's on BBTS. There's only one other figure they announced in this particular wave. It's just two figures. And are these the zombie turtles you're talking about? Undead Turtles 4 pack.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, I said zombies, undead zombies, same thing.
Hey, you got it. You got it. So I wonder if these are the ones that I have. They look slightly different. But really quick, let me show you Jenica, and I'm gonna go grab the ones I picked up from Walmart 2 weeks ago for $10 each. They're individually sold. Here's Jenica, IDW comic. Do you know anything about the fifth turtle?
I thought it was Venus de Milo, but that was from the old '90s TV show that they did the live action one, kind of right after Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, and before they
Okay.
went on tour as a rock band. Um, Fox Kids had a live action Ninja Turtles cartoon or show, and Venus de Milo was the woman turtle,
Huh.
which
This sounds like
um,
another nightmare.
yes, I have a lot of fever dreams involving toys. I'm not gonna lie. I have a
I think
problem.
this is.
That is why I'm here.
I think this is going to have to build into your nickname in some way.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, anyways, before I show you what I picked up from Walmart, here is the other. Okay, no, these are what I picked up from Walmart. They're right here. So these are not undead. But how many of these IDW turtles are they going to put out? This is
Tons.
insane.
Yeah.
So these are actually way cooler.
This is why I'm. This is why I'm not collecting the IDW line
Yeah, I know. It's a
from Loyal
rabbit hole.
Subjects.
I'm not going to get. Yeah. Well, these were 10. You wouldn't see if you saw this for $10, you wouldn't pick it up in the box that I'm about to show you. And the boxes all go together and create a really nice art panel. I'll show you in a second.
Well,
But this is the
you
other figure.
are
This is the
you
boxes.
are speaking my
This is
language. Boxes
yeah, no.
and art on boxes going together to form one large picture.
So
So,
here's kind of like a demented foot soldier here that I haven't read the IDW comics, but I've heard good things. I need to.
did I
So
put one
this
up?
is cool.
Oh no, I
The
didn't.
Foot Assassin. Pretty interesting figure. I don't see NECA ever doing something like this.
No, I think that some of the mainline. So this goes in with those weird like offshoots like Mezco and Fury Toys or whatever, right? Where they're just trying to produce toys, and they might go to some of the obscure kind of weird routes. Like Loyal Subject is one of those, right? Where they're picking up some assassin ninja thing. They're doing the woman turtle Jenica. They're doing zombie versions of the turtles. Although I think Playmates might have done a zombie version of a turtle. So it's cool. I mean, I think Kevin Smith said it. I mean, it's a great time to be a comic collector, a comic fan, just a collector in general, I think, because of everything is geared towards our generation. I mean, it's not geared towards kids
Yeah,
anymore.
may you live in
Although that
interesting times.
that Mayhem Turtles movie was probably geared more towards kids.
So here's what I picked up at Walmart. I mean, here these boxes. I love the IDW, or excuse me, the Loyal Subjects Best Action boxes that they do. Obviously inspired by NECA, but there's something a little bit more collector friendly about them. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's, well, on second thought, I really like when NECA puts a photo on the inside here rather than just kind of an advertisement. But the sticker, and there's a comic in the back, of course. And here's the part that I really like, and here's what Last Ronin is doing. NECA Last Ronin is also doing, except Loyal Subjects is doing them one better and making it so that the art is on the front instead of the spines matching. It's now the front
Okay.
art.
Easier to put on a shelf if it's the front.
This is perfect for you, man.
No, I get it. I get it. You know what? You're probably going to make me go out and buy them. I'm not going to lie.
If you see them at Walmart for $10, don't sleep. If I see another set, I'll hook you up.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
If you're interested. I mean, look at the
Because
story.
right now,
Let's get it.
I only have the
Touch it
one,
up.
one exclusive, the whatever the box. They're all gray with just the different color headbands. That's the one that I have.
That was the first
now.
iteration of these IDW
Yeah.
guys. Nobody does more show and tell than you and I. I firmly believe that.
Oh, here I have found a picture of Venus de Milo for all of those that don't remember what she looked
Oh,
like.
yeah, I have seen that. That's disturbing, man.
It was. She was not. That was
Amazing.
so not a fever dream yet. I think we talked about last week how we got into collecting, and then what we were collecting, or kind of the collections from the
Absolutely,
past
yeah.
versus
Sorry about that.
what we were
I was
going
checking to
what
see
we
if
were
we.
moving into.
I was checking to see if we had any new subs since we posted our first video just today, and
Yeah.
currently we're at 3 views. 3
Yes.
views.
I am one of those 3 views.
Great. That's great. That's great.
Cha-ching. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still floating in the ether. But really quick, before we get off the subject of toy news, I'm going to share my screen
Oh.
here. And you, my friend, I think were responsible for me getting this guy today.
Is
Now,
it
he was on
Darkseid?
my radar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I set my alarm for this. I knew it was gonna sell out.
I'm so
I'm
glad
like,
you
I,
did.
s-
You
I'm
did,
at,
huh? I was.
I did. Oh, I set an alarm last night when I saw that it was going to be posting this morning at 9 o'clock, 12 or 1 Eastern. I can't remember when it was. And I was like, I have to set my alarm. And I set my alarm. I was at work. I'm like, I'm doing this. Logged into Big Bad Toy Store, put my subscription or put my pre-order down because this guy is amazing.
Look at the back of the box. You know what
Dude,
I'm going to say. Look
classic,
at that art.
classic art. Very reminiscent of the old Superpowers toy.
Yeah.
The
2
outfit, the
heads.
cape. So the original Superpowers didn't have 2 heads. It had the head, but you could put the little it had a place for light to go in.
Like a peg hole.
So no, on the top, so it shined
Oh.
down. So when you shined it into the thing, his eyes glowed, and then you could cover it to not have the eyes. Because that was the thing in the late '80s. You had to have a gimmick. So the gimmick was he has laser eyes. So instead of having it actually shoot something out, it would just be,
Yeah.
hey, you can turn it on and off. You can cover it. You can with the light. But this one, the
mean, is
second head
anybody-
is amazing.
You mean the head that it comes
Yes,
packaged with?
I love this.
Yeah.
This getting ready
Is
to
anybody
shoot
going to
is-
not display this head? Right?
You know what? I don't know. That's what's going to be mine. I'm for sure going to have
Well,
that.
let me ask you this: would you have rather them included another accessory than? I guess this head is really cool. Never mind, I take it back.
You know what? I think that if they were going to go another accessory, they would have had to go with like a Cyclops eye beams, where it would be shooting out. But I think, but I don't know if they could have done that because it goes in like a zigzag pattern. So
Right.
I think the start of it glowing is the thread.
I think
enough.
this is beautiful. What they decided
Yes,
to
it's
do with
great.
the effect piece, just have it built in on the head. Don't give me something I have to slot it into.
Right, because you can lose it later.
That always makes me nervous.
Yeah,
And they hit a home run with this figure. And
I agree,
another
100%.
another another thing they did, not only with the aesthetics, but it's $40. It's got a wired. I assume that's wired.
It looks like some of the other still pictures that they have where
Yeah,
he's on Apocalypse.
it
It
might
does
not.
look
Well,
like it's a
it looks
wired
wired.
kicks.
It looks
Yeah.
wired. They could have easily. I wouldn't condone it. I think it needs to be $40, but they could have easily charged more for this because they have been raising the prices on a lot of their other SKUs. And the fact that they put out this obviously very popular character in his most popular form, and he's a giant figure, and they made it $40. Home run. It sold out in 5 minutes.
Oh, for sure. I went to they had it on Amazon, they had Entertainment Earth, they had Big Bad Toys, and all of them were gone.
I can't remember the last time that happened. Can you? I
No.
mean, that quickly.
You were going to say that I inspired you with my Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, thank you. I don't know if you've ever seen the Mystique that comes in the VHS style box. She does have the cell shading on her, but it's actually somewhat pleasant to look at. I have her throwing up her baby here that she comes packed in with.
Oh, nice. Like a Lion King. Kuna
Yeah,
Matata.
exactly. She's throwing it up. It's midair.
Oh, it's even
Maybe I could
better.
put some. Yeah, that's what I mean. She's throwing it up in the midair. You know, like people do with babies.
Yeah, exactly. One,
I don't
two,
know.
three.
Isn't
Yay.
that what they do? Did you ever
Yeah,
do this?
I'm pretty sure.
And
My
what if she
kids
was
got
like,
tossed around a lot.
you know, my brother once told me something pretty funny. He says, you know, initially you think they're pretty fragile, but they're not.
No, they're bendable. For the first 2 years, they're Plastic Man, essentially.
What if this was spinning around like this? Kind of cool, right? I really like this idea of us talking about how we started and how we got to where we're at now. And collecting's always kind of been a part of our lives, even when, you know, Lego collectors. I don't know if you've ever dipped into Lego, but
I
Lego collectors. Go ahead.
I was gonna say only the Knights in the Forest
Oh, that's cool.
ones from the
Heck yeah.
mid '90s.
Lego collectors famously call the period of their life where they're not collecting the Dark Ages
Okay.
because they collect Lego when they're a kid, and then they get into junior high, high school, and you obviously have other interests, and you're not collecting Lego for a good 7, 8, 10 year period,
Okay.
and then you start collecting again. You're like, oh, what are all the sets I missed out on? So you always refer to those that period as your Dark Ages, but
Okay.
my argument is that true collectors, even if they take a break from a particular property, they're always collecting something. And I don't think I've ever gone through a period of my life where I was not collecting something. So it is interesting to me,
Oh,
and it could be something
yeah,
that
you're right.
we could always revisit in the future, because even now I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I was collecting that for a little while. And we talked about last week what our earliest collector memories are, and of course I mentioned Garbage Pail Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we can kind of do a little back and forth. So I'll start and I'll say what I went
Okay.
from GPK, Garbage Pail Kids, to,
Okay.
and then you can then pick it up. I think if you still want to keep it as such, Marvel cards like Series
Oh,
1.
okay. We're gonna do like a
Well,
trading
that's what
cards
you
or
did.
something? Okay.
But I'm saying that's what you did. Is kind of your earliest memory, but it could be GI Joe. So
Yeah.
did you have any
Okay.
time to think about it? What would you land on now? Is GI Joe or is it Marvel cards as your earliest collector memory?
Probably gonna be G.I. Joe.
It's here, the G.I. Joe collection. Infantry Trooper. Codename Grunt. Bazooka Soldier. Codename Zap. Motor Soldier. Codename Short Fuse. Laser Rifle Trooper. Codename Flash. Ranger. Codename Stalker. Communications Officer. Codename Breaker. Machine Gunner. Codename Rock and Roll. Counterintelligence. Codename Scarlet. Commando. Codename Snake Eyes. Each sold separately. G.I. Joe from Hasbro.
Ace the Airborne, let's get those turkeys. We're gonna get Cobra this time.
I was definitely more into the action figures and the toys versus the cards. The cards came later, junior high or high school when they were available. I think it was the mid '90s, 93, 94, 95, something like that, where they first were issued.
I think it's pretty obvious where I went from Garbage Pail Kids. Masters of the Universe.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor is his enemy.
If He-Man, Skeletor, and Castle Grayskull, you have to put the castle together.
You're doomed, He-Man.
Oh yeah? Watch this action, Dad. Now I have the power.
He-Man and Skeletor each sold separately. Castle Grayskull also sold separately from the Masters of the Universe collection from Mattel.
At your house, like we played Masters of the Universe. Like I had a bunch of figures at your house. Didn't you collect Masters of the? You made it sound like you never collected.
No, I had that. That was so my three lines in terms of my toy collecting. Like I like legitimately collected a lot of were GI Joe, He-Man, and Ninja Turtles. Those are the three that I collected a ton of. Like I had a lot of GI Joes, Masters of the Universe. I had Castle Grayskull and Stake Mountain for the
Okay.
bases.
Wow.
I had He-Man, Skeletor, some of the weirder, more obscure ones. Like I never had Beastman. I wanted Beastman, but I had Triclops. I never got Trapjaw. I wanted Trapjaw. So there's are some of like the white whales that I want to have I wanted to have in my collection but never had. But I was big into that cartoon. Back when I was growing up, I was only allowed to watch a certain amount of TV in a day.
Sure.
I think it was like an hour, as long as it wasn't public television. Public television, I could watch a bunch of.
We watched Square
So
One TV like it was nothing.
yes,
Remember Square One
yes,
TV?
yes. So my shows were GI Joe, He-Man, Transformers, things like that. Like those were the shows that I watched, and those were the toys that I collected.
There's something that's so like I think He-Man is interestingly hitting its stride right now. Like
It is.
the success of the Origins line, like what they did with those classic molds, and then added the articulation. But this is a Mattel Creations exclusive. You couldn't buy this in stores normally. But this is Grizzlor here, and it says modern posing retro play. But the aesthetic is so strong, or the look of the original Motu characters is so strong, they didn't want to mess with it. And there's just something so kitschy but badass at the same time. And this Grizzlor I pulled out intentionally because, look at these soft goods. Talk about soft goods.
He's all
He
soft
actually,
goods.
he's a member of the Horde, and I remember that the Horde was just like 4 deep when I was getting into it. And now there's just like more obviously Horde members.
Hordak.
Look at
What was the Horde? Hordak.
the
Or
leader
that
of the
guy, Leechor.
Leech. Yeah.
Was it Leech or Leechor?
Leechor. It could be Leech. I thought it was Leech. I should.
I'm pretty sure any He-Man character's got an or at the end of it.
Or not every. Well, this is Grizzlor. There's one Dar. You can put
Oh,
an
you're
R.
right. It's Leech.
Dar. One Dar. Yeah, Leech. So this guy. So before my parents, we were in a transitional home for a little while. I was playing with my He-Man, and these He-Man are just like so. I don't know. They really prompted you to set up these large battles if you had a few He-Men. The villains are just amazing, and I just wanted to torture my villainous characters, and Grizzlor was unfortunately at the end of this particular streak. I stuck the original Grizzlor, obviously not this one, but the original line. I stuck him into a lamp, a Grizzlor, and it was on a turned on lamp and a hot bulb, and obviously you can imagine what happened next. It
Smelled
burnt
horrible,
a
I'm
giant
sure.
plastic crater in the back of my Leechor, and the hair was burned, the plastic. And I remember looking at that Leechor and seeing all the plastic burnt on the end of that light bulb as he was being tortured there. Hard lesson learned, and I completely totaled my Grizzlor. And the smell in that house was just noxious. My dad
It was
would
atrocious,
have
I'm
to get
sure.
that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To this day, he still says, yeah,
But this one's intact. Hopefully I don't make
Yeah.
that mistake again.
you will.
I will. Yeah.
Try to relive your youth.
And to this day, it still captures my imagination. There's something so toyetic about it. So much so that and this will be my last point, other toy makers, independent, boutique labels are making things in this style of buck. Obviously, this is not a great example because he's covered in fur, but everybody knows what Motu looks like. And this company right here, they're called Formo Toys. I really like them, actually. Formo here. I mean, they just do epic boxes, as you know. That's something I'm into. But these figures right here are just so insane looking.
Yeah.
And these can go right. What I like about these independent boutique toy creators is that they're making these figures, and I could put these right next to He-Man. I could put this right next to Grizzlor, and it looks like it's the same line.
Yeah.
It's such a unique look. You can't really say that about many other toy
It's
lines.
He-Man adjacent. I had a lot of Mask toys. Again, right up my wheelhouse. It was just the cartoon was amazing. Does not hold up um, uh, later in life, but I had fond memories of that whole entire thing. The Transformers. I mean, I had a bunch of them. Never some of the big ones. I remember on my birthday one year, probably when I was maybe 6 or 7, 8. I got Jetfire, and it was the original
Wow.
Jetfire, the one that looked like the Robotech toy before they got sued and had to change the mold and call them something else. But I had that, and my holy grail was that one, and I had it, and now I'm trying to see if I can find it again for a cheaper price. But
Yeah.
I was I was going over this the other day. I was watching the
So really
cartoon.
quick, what scale is Mask? What was that, 2 inches? How big were those figures?
Yeah,
Were those 3.25?
no, they were 2 inches.
Tiny.
Yeah, crazy sauce. And they're not posable at all. They were stiff
Yeah, yeah,
armed,
yeah, yeah.
stiff arm,
Yeah.
stiff leg. They bent
5
at
points.
the one, two,
Torso?
no torso. So the leg bent at the butt, so they could sit in their vehicles, and that was it. The mask came
Right.
off, put them on. But
Which was admittedly cool. Like that in
yes,
itself is a point of articulation. The fact that they can have a mask on and off.
yep,
I
and
enjoyed
they,
that.
oh,
I had
they
one.
definitely
I don't include mask in my collecting story because I had one mask toy.
the green
and it
helicopter
was the
motorcycle.
you got it. The
Everyone
motorcycle.
had that one. That was one of the that was like your gateway. That was the gateway drug into the mask universe.
Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
Convert Switchblade to jet mode. Surprise, Matt Tracker. It's mayhem. Battle station. Protect the decoder, Bruce. I'm going up. Stacks ready to fire.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino.
Fire!
Each sold separately with action figure.
Cover me, Matt. 10-4. Sato's getting away. But you're not, Mayhem.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino. Each sold separately. New from Kenner.
Now, this is how insane that I was. I don't know if anybody remembers these. Do you remember Army Ants? They were blue and orange.
I do remember. Yeah, I never had any
Okay,
of them.
so they were a takeoff on Battle Beasts for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Huh.
this was probably my first ever complete set of Army Ants. I bought all of them.
These remind me of Muscles. Remember Muscles?
They were very muscles. They were not
Yeah.
articulated, but they had weapons that came on them, like mortars and guns, and like the little pirate had a six-shooter pistol. This tank had a little turret that he could run. This guy that's missing
And
an
you could
arm
pull
was
off
a
their
mortar.
butts, right? It's just like
Yep.
a little ball joint, right? Yeah.
So yeah, they came in 2 packs, except for one had a 6 pack. So it was like 2 or 3 2 packs and a 6 pack. I bought this was my first ever complete set of toys. I bought them all, and they were amazing. I think I still have them to this day, somewhere at my
Wow.
mom's house, mostly
And there's no
intact. I
paint
think
on
I'm
them. So there's no paint.
no.
Yeah.
The little bit of here and there, there's a
Hmm.
some articulation on like a little band here or a phone. This guy came with a backpack that had a little antenna. This guy I think came with a wrench. This guy came with 2 pistols. This guy had a Gatling gun because he was the German. Uh, sorry, but this was my complete set. So that was it. That was my complete. If I was a completist, that was it.
And
I
that was
couldn't get
it.
all
Did
the
they ever
battle
do
beasts.
more?
Nope,
Did,
this is
did,
them
did,
right here.
oh, that's
Here you
it.
go.
Oh, that's fun,
Yep,
man.
yep.
That's amazing,
Uh,
man. Cool.
From
I didn't think we were going to be
1980s.
talking about army ants today. That's a
Nope.
nice surprise.
That's the
Um,
fever dreams that I'm having.
yeah. So I'm going to gloss over this pretty quick, but it's not super toyetic, but I mean we're talking high school and Street Fighter was a thing, and I just kind of
Yes,
I got into video games. I got into arcade games. We would go to Golfland, in the town we grew up
yes.
in, and I had an Atari 2600 at home. That's how old I am. Of course, when I had it, it was already an old machine. It was just a hand-me-down. but it was basically my gateway drug into the NES, and I got the NES really late as well.
Oh, yep.
Actually, my first console that I got before I got the NES was a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
remember
love
you
that
when you
thing.
bought the Game Boy. When you got the Game Boy, I think it was right
Do
before
you
you
do?
went on a trip to the Czech.
Okay, okay.
I
Heck
I think
yeah,
because you wanted to play it on the plane, so you bought the
of
Game Boy.
course.
I
Super
was super
Mario World. Yep.
jealous. I was super
Midnight
jealous because
Landing.
I didn't have a Game Boy. I bought the
Huh.
Game
You had a
Gear.
late? No, you had a Game Gear. Yeah.
I went Game Gear. Yep. Full
Awesome.
color, backlit screens, 25 AA batteries to power that bad
Was it?
boy.
It was. I thought it was
No, I
six
think
or
it was like
nine.
six. It was 6 or 9, but
Yeah.
the thing was huge.
I remember playing
Um,
Shinobi at your house. Shinobi was awesome.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and that might have been the original Shinobi with Spider-Man.
It might have been. Might have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Batman, I
Yeah,
hear,
yeah.
makes an appearance too.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say for a good 10, 15 years, like I just collected games. You know, I had
Yes.
N64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. That was all I cared about. I mean, in fact, so much so that like physical figures were just like repulsive. Like, what would I do with those? Like, I need to secure shelf space for games.
I do remember very
And
gaming centric. The Nintendo was my
yeah,
gateway. Yeah. I never owned an
definitely.
Atari, even though my dad worked at Atari. Excuse me.
So my mom worked at Atari, and then I worked at Atari for almost four
Yeah.
years. You knew that,
What
right?
did your mom
Yeah.
do at Atari? No, I knew you did as a game
She was
tester. What did your
a
mom do
computer
for Atari?
analyst. Yeah, I think she was just a computer analyst, or not just, but she was there as a computer analyst.
Oh,
You know, she didn't work directly on the games. Obviously, she wasn't a
right.
programmer, but she worked maybe in the finance department. Anyways,
No, my dad was probably in the
but you
budget side of things, so I don't know.
gotcha. Oh, that's cool. I didn't actually know that. So you know, she got us in there on our birthdays. You know, they had a little arcade there, like 12 games,
I
12 arcade
played in that
lanes.
lobby because we only had one car, so we would pick my dad up from Atari, and I
Oh,
played in that
cool.
lobby, pole position,
Yeah, yeah,
centipede.
yeah. Hard
Um,
driving.
my mom would hold me because I think it was 4, 5. So my mom would hold me. She would work the pedal for pole position, and I would do the driving.
That was just the right time to be, alive. If you had an interest in like games that weren't just at the house on your TV, like arcade machines were it. It was
Coughlin.
so social on top of that.
Hmm.
But for a while, that was it. And I'll save the suspense, and I'll tell you right now what got me back into figures, what got me out of the game realm, and I think it's
Hmm.
actually somewhat interesting, and I don't hear too many people talk about it. But do you remember the classification toys to life?
No. What's that?
So Amiibo, Nintendo Amiibo, or like figures, little statuettes,
Oh, okay. I do know Amiibos.
Skylanders, Lego
Skylanders.
Dimensions, Disney Infinity.
Skylanders, the amazing new video game where toys come to life.
Let's go, Skylanders! Yeah!
Yeah, I know all of that stuff, and I got into that later on with my kids, but I was never into it personally.
Yeah. So I gotta admit right here, this is Toy Anonymous. I'm
Uh-huh.
here to tell you. I'm raising my
That's right.
hand.
You
I'm
are,
here to
yeah,
tell
you are a
you,
toy collector.
Skylanders are what got me back into action figures.
No
Hardcore.
kidding.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they were so cool because I would always
Those,
hang out when I was living in Oregon at the time, right? I was living in
yeah.
Portland, and I would just go to the Fred Meyer. Shout out to Fred Meyer. And they had it was the best grocery store on the planet because they had an electronics department. So I would just hang out. I was just like, I got to get, some stuff for lunch tomorrow. I'm going to go check out, any new releases in the
Right.
games department.
Yes.
And there they installed pegs, and on these pegs would be Skylanders. And I'm like, Skylanders, what are these? I knew Spyro,
Right.
obviously,
Started
quite
it all.
familiar with
Shout
him
out to
from the
Spyro,
PS1
PlayStation.
days. Shout out to Spyro. But I'm looking at some of these other goofy characters, and obviously the collector in
They
me
were
was
great.
like, oh, these are cool. These
They were
games,
great.
this just seems like a kid's Diablo. Like, I like Diablo.
Yes.
Let's
Third
give this a
person
shot.
runner.
And the first game was very Diablo-like. The second game took it to another level. But it really fulfilled that collector in me. I'm just like, oh, these are really cool. And I had to, like, you know, pull myself away from it at least 2 times. And I remember selling my initial Skylanders collection and then getting back into it. Like when a new Skylanders would come out, I think there was 6 iterations over time. There'd be a new one every year, kind of what Activision was doing with Guitar Hero.
Yep.
They were doing it with Skylanders, and they got so good. And like there was a swap force where you can actually swap the tops of the bodies to the different
magnetic.
I was just like, these are, yeah, magnets.
Don't worry, suckers. I've got suckers. Ha-ha! Arriba! Whoa!
Swappable, unstoppable. Skylanders Swap Force.
They displayed well for sure.
They displayed super well, and like it was kind of magical. And I think to this day, putting them on that base and seeing them in that game world, you know, with that progress, you know, still carried over, and all the upgrades you did to that character saved on that figure. I mean, to this day, I think it's something that's fairly unique. And from there, I kind of just got back into figures, man. I kind of left games sort of behind.
So I got into Skylanders too, but only because of my kids. My older daughter, when she was probably 4, wanted to get into video gaming because she would see me playing games. And so I thought to find a way to give her an experience at a junior level. So I went to Disney because we were into Disney. So I went, hey, we're going to go get Disney Infinity, right? So it's a pad. You put the character onto you buy the little figure, which were awesomely designed.
Yeah.
Put them onto the pad, just like Skylanders, and away you go. The problem was there was nothing to do in Disney Infinity. Like you would walk around in a world and maybe collect some coins. I have no idea. I was like, all right, yes, Disney knew how to do it right with the figures, but the game was absolute garbage. I couldn't figure out why they made like 2 or 3 versions of these. They were just getting us to buy a playset, essentially. So I went into Skylanders. Lucky for me, Toys R Us was going out of business, and they were having buy 1 Skylander, get 7 free. And so
I remember this.
I basically would go into Toys R Us with my daughter, and I would say, hey, which ones don't we have? Let's go buy them all. Yeah.
Amazing. So Jason, I have a question for you. I have another reveal of how Toys to Life brought me into another one of my obsessions, but I think we can maybe continue this next episode. What do you think about that? I mean, this is a very rich subject, and I think you could pick it up with Classified because that's what's behind you right now. I think that would be pretty interesting.
This is my other complete set.
Thank you for joining me today. This was a lot of fun.
I appreciate it.
Let's reconvene next week, my friend. I like his man purse.